Hello guys, my name is Shubham Bondwe and I'm a data analyst, and today I'm going to explain my Python project in detail. This project focuses on performing end-to-end data analysis using Python. The goal was to take raw CSV data, clean and transform it, perform exploratory data analysis, and generate business insights that could support decision making. Let me give you a brief overview of what this project is all about. This project is based on hospitality domain. I'm going to use an imaginary company called AtliQ Grands in this project. AtliQ Grands is a hotel chain and they have various hotels in various parts of India. And they are in this industry for 20 years, and any person can book their hotels through online websites like Make My Trip, Trivago, Agoda, etc. Now this company AtliQ Grand is facing challenge through their competitors. They are losing their revenue, their market share, their booking is falling down, and I'm going to solve this issue. In order to do that, I have this booking database of AtliQ Grands where it includes all the information like daily transactions, bookings, cancellations, and all other information. And I'm going to analyze this database. But one issue here is that this booking database is a live database and I cannot perform data analysis on this database. Otherwise, it will slow down this database, and it's a mission critical database. So there is no way that this database can slow down. So what I will do here is I am going to create a replica of this database, and I will perform all my querying and analysis on that replicated database. Basically the entire workflow is gonna look something like this, where the person will log in through Make Your Trip, Log Trip, online services, and all its data is going to save in this booking database. But this booking database is an OLTP system, online transactional processing system, which is a mission critical system. So this system cannot be slowed down, so I cannot perform any querying or analysis on this system. So basically I will create a replica of this database by extracting data from the original system. I will extract the data, transform it, and load it into the replicated data warehouse. And it is an OLAP system, online analytical processing system, where I will perform all my queries and analysis there. And after that I might use Power BI or Jupyter Pandas for data visualization. And here I am going to use Jupyter Pandas in this project. These are all the steps I am going to use in this project. Understanding business problem. Basically, AtliQ hardware is losing its revenue. So they have various questions like why revenue is falling, in which particular region the revenue is falling more, or is it a seasonal issue or something like that. There are so many questions to answer. And then the next step is data collection and understanding. We have all the data in CSV format in our replicated data warehouse. So we will do data cleaning and exploration on that CSV data. Obviously the data will be unstructured, messy, or it will have too many errors. So we have to do data transformation and clean that data as per requirements. And then we will collect insights from that data. I went to a data engineer and told him that, hey, I want all the data from the data warehouse that is related to AtliQ Grands. And the data engineer gave me all this CSV data. And I'm going to load all this CSV data in the Jupyter notebook, and I will do further steps there. Now the most obvious step after opening a Jupyter notebook is to open the dataset. So here first I will load the CSV file in the Jupyter notebook, and I'm going to use pandas here. So import pandas as PD. I have run this pandas library. Now I will open the CSV in a data frame format. For that I'm going to use df equal to pd.read underscore CSV, since it's a CSV file, and then the name of the file. Now let me give you proper name, df bookings. So the CSV file has opened, and it has opened in a data frame format, and we can see all the data here: room category, booking platform, rating, Z1, booking status. So the data warehouse has all this data: revenue realized, revenue generated, etc. Now I'm going to do some basic data exploration here. So let me check how many rows and columns are there. As you can mention here, it's already mentioned. And I will rename this because df.bookings is too big. So let me rename this again. and then to check whether how many rows and columns are there, you have to simply type shape, and 1,34,590 rows and 12 columns are there. And then let me see what I can explore more. Let's see for room category. So df underscore beat room category dot unique function. Unique function will give all the unique categories here. So only 4 categories are there: RT1, RT2, RT3, RT4. Now let me explore more. Let's explore booking platform, like how many types of booking platforms are there. So same, I will copy. Okay, so these are the unique booking platforms, but I want to see the counts, like how many counts are there for direct online, for others, for log trip, for tripster. So the here function is the value counts. So the booking platform here for is others is 55,000, make your trip is 26,898. And I can do one more thing here. I can plot this in a bar chart, because I know this is readable, but picture can show you 1,000 words. And now let me run this code again. So a beautiful bar chart is presented here, and now it is easily understandable. For others it's 45,000, something like that, and for make your trip it's 30,000, for log trip it's 15,000, for direct online is 14,000. So a bar chart definitely gives you a way ahead. Let me perform some more analysis. I would like to find the maximum and minimum of, let's say, revenue generated and revenue realized. So instead of typing max and min separately, there is a simple function called this describe function. Will basically give all the statistics, the mean, median, max, minimum, everything. And here I can realize that ratings given, the rating is 3.69, and this is the reason the hotel is not doing so well, because if a hotel has to do well, then it should must have 4 rating or 5 rating at least. So 3 ratings, so we have to check the ratings part here. And now I can see for number of guests it's -17. How can be number of guests -17? So basically that's a data error, so we have to fix that data error to here. And for that I'm going to load other CSV files here as well. So I have given all the names and the file names here, so let me load them. And after loading, if you want, you can do all the further analysis. Let's say for hotels. And now this is the hotels data, and now let me check how many hotels are there in Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore. So df underscore h dot the city dot value counts. So in Mumbai there are 8 hotels, in Hyderabad there are 6 hotels, and the least number of hotels are in Delhi. So I have to increase the number of hotels there. So basically that's how we can figure out how to improve the revenue. As we saw previously that there are some negative values in our bookings data frame. Let me show you again. As you can see, number of guests there is -17, and it's a common sense that number of guests cannot be negative. It can be 1, 2 or even 0 for that matter, but it cannot be negative number. So let's find out what the exact issue here is. So df underscore b has a column name df underscore b dot number of which are less than equal to 0. So I generated a data frame which have all the negative guests. So minus 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here 10 rows are in negative number. So you can talk to your business manager and find out like this data has some errors. So what can we do for further steps? But according to my intelligence, what I can do here is, for example, df.shape it already has 1,34,590 columns, 590 rows, sorry. So even if 10 rows have number of guessed error, it's okay that we can still drop these rows because the data is already huge, so we can get a good statistics with the remaining data. So we can ignore this 10 negative data here. So let me do that. We have to reverse this. So df underscore b dot number of guessed greater than 0. So earlier it was 1,34,590 rows. Now when I run which are greater than 0, here all number of guests are in positive. So the rows are 1,34,578, and what I will do here is I will save this in the same data frame. So this data frame only includes all the positive number of guests. So a little bit of data cleaning is done here. Let's do some more data cleaning in this. Now let me look at the table again, and here let me check the revenue generated column here. Now here I can see that in revenue generated, the minimum revenue generated is 65,000, which is kind of okay. But the maximum revenue generated per day, it's for a day by the way, for one booking ID, is 2 millions, and that's an outlier. Like, who will spend 2 million for one night? So this is an outlier and we have to fix this. And there are various techniques to fix this. Here I can use average or standard deviation. Let me use both. Average comma standard deviation. It's mean, and similarly STD. So what I can do here is I can set a higher limit. Higher limit is basically average plus 3 multiplied by standard deviation, and let me call this so basically this number here is the acceptable limit. Like, the minimum can be 6,500, okay, it is understandable, but the maximum cannot be like 2 million plus. No one can spend that much. But 2,94,000, it is kind of acceptable also. Like, there are some rooms, like for example, there are some special rooms who can have 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs charges a night. When I run df underscore b dot greater than higher limit, so it will show you all the outliers like revenue generated. These are 9 millions, 2 millions, 1 millions. So these are all the outliers here. And to fix this is simple. We have to reverse this here. So when we do the reverse of this, less than higher limit, it will give all the data that is in the desired range, like 9,100 for one day, 10,000 for one day, all those are acceptable numbers. Like people can spend a night for 9,000, 10,000, etc. So, and all I have to do here is paste this in the same data frame so that the original data frame gets modified here. And I have saved this data frame here. So let me recall the data frame. After doing all the data cleaning, it's time for me to do some data transformation here. And for this I would like to take another sheet. So let me take something, let's say for example aggregated bookings. Let's check what this data has. So in aggregated booking.csv there are property ID, check-in date, room category, successful bookings and capacity. Okay. So what I can do here is, since there is a successful bookings columns and capacity column, I can find out the occupancy percentage here. Occupancy percentage is basically I have 30 rooms and in that there are 25 rooms already filled. So 25 divided by 30, which will give me occupancy percentage, like how many percentage of rooms are not filled. So I can add a new column here, and to add a new column it's pretty simple. I have to give the column name OCC percentage equals to successful bookings divided by capacity. And I will call that again. Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't mention that correctly here. So I got the OCC percentage here, but the OCC percentage numbers here looks weird, like they are not in a proper percentage format. So let me convert this in the proper percentage format, and for that I will use lambda function here, where this person dot apply, I will apply lambda function here. So lambda x, where I will use round function here, multiply by 100, and I want 2 decimals here. Yes, so it's done. The lambda function has been successfully executed, and you can see 83%, 93%. Data transformation is basically adding new columns based on some previously derived columns and then doing some aggregations and merging, appending. All these are part of data transformation, and I have done all the data transformation here. It's time for us to do some question and answers, like what are the, like how, like why revenue is dropping and how we can increase the revenue and all that questions. So let's start. Let's assume that these are the questions that the business owner has asked us to solve. So let's solve the first question. What is an average occupancy rate in each of the room categories? So for room categories, as we all know that there are 4 categories: RT1, RT2, RT3 and RT4, as you can see here also. So let's try to solve this, and you want the average occupancy rate. So we have to use group by here. So group by room category, for per room we want that, and OCC percentage, and since we want average here we will use mean here. So for RT1 the average room category is 58, for RT2 58 and all that. Now let's solve the second question here. Print average occupancy rate per city. But as we can see, occupancy rate percentage doesn't have the city column. But city column is present in the df underscore hotel sheet. So what we can do is we can use join here. It is similar to SQL join here. So Pandas has this option called pd.merge, where it will merge df underscore aggregated column dot b comma df underscore h, which is a hotel CSV on property ID. So it has merged two different sheets, aggregated booking sheet and hotel sheet, based upon the common link, and the common link here is property ID. And let's save this in a new data frame. So df underscore new okay. So now we can do here is we use the group by function or the city and we get the occupancy percentage here. So df underscore new dot group by based on city and what we want, occupancy percentage, and we want the average of it. Okay, so df underscore new dot group by city percentage will give average for each city: Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, Mumbai, name, etc. Let's solve the third question here. When was the occupancy better, weekday or weekend? But as you can see, there is no weekday or weekend column here, but the weekday or weekend column is present in the df underscore dates CSV. So let's call that df underscore date so the date here. So similarly we have to again use the join function here. So pd dot merge underscore b comma df underscore date, and since in df underscore date there is a date column, and in df underscore no there is check-in date. So since there is a two different types of column names, I will use left on let's say date here. Check-in date. Oops, I have actually reversed the columns here, so I have fixed that. Now check-in date is on the left side and check-in on the right side. Now I can group by based on the day type here. Let me put this in a new data frame df1. Okay, so I can use df1 dot group by function here, and I will group by based upon the day type. And what they want here is occupancy better. Okay, so basically they want occupancy percentage only. So occupancy percentage dot mean. So on weekend the occupancy percentage was high, and it's a common things like Saturday, Sunday, most of them have holidays or they are free, so the occupancy percentage makes sense here. Thank you.